We've seen our fair share of absurdity in GTA games, but those are nothing compared to these 10 most absurd missions ever. And believe me, the last one on this list is the worst of them all. Anyone remember Auntie P from GTA Vice City?
Come in, my dear, and rest your soul.
Yeah, that sweet old lady who turns out to be a crazy witch. In the side mission, Juju Scramble, she ropes poor Tommy Vercetti into running some pretty sketchy errands for her. At first, Tommy seems reluctant since she's a total stranger, but after he downs a huge cup of her special tea, he's suddenly all in.
Now be a good boy, Tommy, and go and get the powders for Auntie P.
Yeah, sure.
Whatever's in that tea has him ready to do whatever she orders. The first time, she asks Tommy to go around picking up her mysterious powder packages scattered across Vice City, but things get wild real quickly. As soon as Tommy walks out the door, the cops are on his tail. Wanted stars keep stacking up as he collects those packs. Everyone from cops to those special agents are trying to catch him, but Tommy doesn't seem to care because he's under Auntie Polate's weird spell, so he pushes ahead anyway. And you know what? I've even heard that Polate's magic tea is based on a real drug. Apparently, in the early 2000s, there were reports of this mysterious substance that was making people be willing to do anything. That's just wild. Now, speaking of strangers, there was a mission in GTA 4, more like an encounter where Nico Bellic comes across this random stranger on the street.
Do you ever wonder if animals, they masturbate?
Okay, listen, friend, you're really creeping me out.
No, it's a silly question. I know, silly question. It's just I was wondering because maybe that's what makes us different from the animals. I mean, masturbating. Because it turns out we don't have souls and animals use tools and all that kind of thing. So maybe it's the masturbating. Maybe that's God's real gift to us.
Okay, I'd really like to get back to planet Earth, so maybe I'll see you later.
No, wait a minute, mister.
Now, Nico's met his fair share of weirdos, but Eddie, he's just nuts. This random guy approaches Nico on the street, acting totally unhinged, mumbling about needing to get rid of his heavy suitcase. Nico can tell right away that Eddie's got a screw loose, but when he offers some cash to Nico, he just decides to roll with it. I mean, what's the worst that could happen? And so, the two hop in a car, and what follows is one of the weirdest rides in GTA history. As Nico drives, Eddie starts rambling about some seriously unsettling stuff, like how people can't laugh without a tongue or point without a finger.
Can't point if you haven't got fingers, can you?
Nico's just trying to get through the ride, but he's clearly disturbed but still has no idea who this guy really is. The whole conversation feels like it's building up to something terrible, and you soon realize why. Turns out, Eddie's not an average nutcase. He's actually a serial killer inspired by the real-life son of Sam, who's been attacking random joggers and stashing their bodies all over the city in sports bags. By the time they reach their destination, Eddie tries to kill Nico as well, and that's when the game lets you take this freak out. This guy really makes Trevor look innocent in front of him. If you think zombies don't exist in the GTA universe, then you've clearly never played Vice City Stories. This game takes place before the events of Vice City, where you play as Vic Vance, Lance's elder brother, who ends up in one of the most bizarre missions. Lance tells Vic that he's found a buyer for the drugs they stole from the Mendes brothers, so Vic tags along to North Point Mall to meet this guy, Spitz, but the Spitz guy isn't exactly what you would call a regular buyer. Turns out, Spitz is a director who's in the middle of shooting a zombie movie and he has lost one of his lead actors. Next thing you know, Vic's playing the hero in a makeshift zombie apocalypse, shooting down a horde of zombies in front of the camera. First, he's unloading rounds at these terrible zombie actors, and then, for the next scene, they hand him a katana and tell him to slice them up. The whole setup is hilariously random, yet weirdly fitting for a GTA side mission. Whenever an RC plane shows up in a GTA game, you just know it's going to take a few days of painstaking work. Supply lines in GTA San Andreas is the perfect example of that. Sure, we all struggled with the RC Hella mission in Vice City, but supply lines was just as frustrating. TJ's just looking to get back at his rival Berkeley, so he heads over to Zero for some weapons.
Come on, homie, where are you?
I said go away, Carl. I don't need any friends today. Thank you.
Then them some pretty strong draws.
Yes, my hero. Carl, he came back and humiliated me.
Instead of handing CJ a nice, reliable machine gun, Zero insists on using a special remote-controlled plane to humiliate Berkeley by blowing up his delivery vans. Next thing you know, you're piloting this weird little fuel-draining plane across San Fierro to locate and take down each van before your fuel runs out, which runs out real fast. You'll probably fail 10 times just trying to figure out the controls, and that's if you're lucky. Let me know how many tries or days it took you guys to finish this mission if you've ever played it. We all know about Rockstar's undying love for parody, so when I heard there was a place in GTA San Andreas called Area 69, I thought we were finally going to see some aliens. Well, not quite. It all starts when you meet Truth, this conspiracy-loving hippie, while he's in the middle of some sort of weed-driven hallucination, but still convinces you to break into this top-secret military base to steal what's called Black Project.
Hey, man, you okay?
Everything is transient. No more, friend. No more. We're not alone.
Get off me, man. What's going on?
Everything is going on. Don't you get it? There's a place not even on the map. A train is about to leave. It can explain better than I ever can. Boy, this is going to blow your fucking mind. We got work to do. You better drive. I'll explain. Elegance does not even touch it.
You rush into the facility, take down an army of soldiers, sneak through the labs, harass a bunch of scientists, and for what? A freaking jetpack? Come on, Rockstar. We would have loved to see an alien fly us out of the facility, but we did get out using that jetpack and handed it over to Truth, who simply took off, leaving us in the middle of nowhere. Now, if you're enjoying this video so far, please consider subscribing. It will be a great help. Alright, back to it. We have seen some bizarre strangers in GTA games, but this guy Barry, he looks like a guy who might actually be onto something. He's a full-on crusader for marijuana legalization, totally determined to spread his pro-weed gospel all over Los Santos. He's so committed that he sets up these pop-up booths around the city with a makeshift table and all, ready to convince anyone and everyone why weed should be legal in the world.
Yeah, this is what I'm talking about.
I don't give a fuck about reefer.
They rigged the vote. I saw the ballots. It's a lie.
It's democracy at work, amigo.
Democracy can suck my fatty.
He even offers strangers free samples of his own homegrown stuff. Each of the game's 3 protagonists come across Barry at some point, and after listening to his really passionate speech, they all reluctantly take a few puffs of his homemade stuff, and that's when things start to become real trippy. Michael suddenly finds himself shooting at aliens who are dead set on abducting him, while Trevor sees these creepy clowns that just keep on coming. But Franklin, he takes a few puffs, wait for the weirdness to start, and nothing.
Can't you see the aliens?
Man, what else are you taking? Man, this shit is garbage.
Anyway, just get the stuff. It's a revolution, and then call me.
Crazy motherfucker.
Turns out he's so used to smoking that Barry's special stash doesn't affect him one bit. Those side missions really were super strange but hilarious. I don't know about you guys, but OG Locke's missions in GTA San Andreas were just plain pain in the arse. Every mission he hands you is a cringe fest, but the worst of them all, life's a beach. After helping him take down a gangster who kinda molested him while he was in prison, would think the next task would be a little more, well, gangster. Instead, he wants CJ to steal a sound system van for his beach party so he could win over some petty gangsters.
I caught me a real fly sound system, cruising through the drive-thru. I think they headed down to the beach for a beach party. Now check this out. I'll roll with you, and on the way, I can get a couple of freestyles. It's OG Loke in the place. You don't want to stop me with a gun in your face. Yeah, man. Let's shut the fuck up.
And sure, it would have made sense for CJ to just pull a gun on the GJ and take the van, but nope, that's way too easy for OG Locke's world. Instead, CJ has to win over the DJ by proving his dance skills. Yeah, CJ and dancing, that's a cringe fest right there. And in order to get that van, you've got to help CJ bust out some awkward dance moves, hitting the right buttons to match the beat of the song. Miss a beat and it's game over. It was super cringe and sometimes hilarious, but equally frustrating watching CJ dance. And it was totally unforgiving. One wrong step and the DJ's laughing at you while the van rolls off in the distance. Honestly, I would take that RC helicopter mission from Vice City over this mess any day. At least there, I wasn't forced into a rhythm game that makes CJ look like he's auditing for a bad dance crew. Okay, I might have to reconsider what I just said, because we have a Life's a Beach equivalent in GTA 5, the infamous Joga mission with Michael. It's hands down one of the most frustrating missions in the game, especially if you're not patient. Michael, a guy who's already stressed out beyond belief, decides that a little Joga session with his wife and her so-called guru will somehow fix his life, or make Amanda shut up for a while.
What is wrong with you smoking in my house? You know, ever since that psychotic pal of yours turned up, you've turned into an even bigger asshole.
Thank you. Your support in my difficult times means the world to me.
I've supported you. I left everything to come here with you, and still, that crazy bastard turns up.
I'll handle it.
How?
I don't know.
Oh, you know what? Just keep him away from me and the children, you low-life, whoremongering asswipe.
Did someone say yoga?
No, I think she said whoremongering asswipe.
Hello, Fabian, darling.
Namaste, Amanda. Are we ready to practice?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, she's very centered. A regular oasis of peace and tranquility, this
with
one.
Anger issues and worse friends. No wonder I'm so upset.
You too, please. Namaste. We practice. Miguel, join us, please.
So there you are, trying to help Michael into these awkward Joga poses, but carefully following the on-screen instructions, hitting the right keys, making sure that he doesn't lose his balance and fall off. It sounds pretty easy, but if you've done it, you know it's not. The game forces you to balance this guy with precise joystick movements, and it feels like Michael's almost trying to fall over just to make you feel his misery. Any tiny twitch and he's down. But you know what's worse? It's actually not that hard, but the way it's set up frustrates you out. But Michael has it worse, because when Fabian, the Joga guy, tries to help Amanda into his new pose, Michael loses it and jumps at the guy who gets out of the way, making Michael into the pool.
Yoga is the answer, Miguel. But what is the question?
Why am I such a moron?
We are leaving, and we are never coming back.
Good!
You are alone, you pathetic psychopath.
Fuck you! And that phony French fucking yogi!
That poor guy. Now I'm sure you guys remember Life Invader, GTA's own twisted version of Facebook. It's a social media giant, and its owner, Norris, has become a billionaire, allegedly by selling off everyone's personal data. Sounds familiar, right? But this is GTA, so you know things are about to get crazy. When Lester finds out that Jay is about to launch a new prototype phone live on TV, he sees the perfect opportunity to take the guy down and make a fortune for himself. Lester asks Michael to sneak into the Life Invader building, posing as a tech guy. Once inside, Michael has to plant some sort of device in Jay's prototype phone and get out.
Hey, have you seen the prototype in the demo room? When Norris announces it at the keynote, minds are gonna blow.
And Michael does exactly that, then casually heads home, switches on the news, and calls Norris. As soon as Jay picks up the call on live TV, the phone explodes in his hand, killing him right in front of the crowd. Michael looks a bit shocked. I mean, he knew something bad would happen to Jay, but he probably didn't expect it to be that brutal. It's one of those classic GTA moments where things go from zero to explosive in seconds, making you laugh and gasp all at once. Finally, I want to talk about what's probably the most boring mission in GTA 5, scouting the port.
Mine ain't nothing special, but this boy gets the job done. All right? Now, Wade here says that you work at the docks.
Yes.
Look at me!
Can you just put your Johnson away, sir?
That mission lasts what seems like a lifetime, doing some of the most tedious tasks, and for what? Nothing really. It's not hard, no. What's actually hard is for you to make it through the whole mission without falling asleep. That's what's hard. You're doing things like watching for guards, noting the layout and pretending to be a spy, but it feels less like an undercover operation and more like watching the paint dry. I don't know who came up with this mission, but man, he almost made me take a break from GTA for like a year or something. So guys, these I believe are some of the most absurd missions in all of GTA. I'm sure you got your own picks for the craziest missions, so let me know down in the comments. Let's see if we agree or if there are even wilder ones I missed. That's pretty much all for this video. I will see you next time.